Becky. I'm back with a video for you guys comparing two different stroller rental companies at Disney World. A little bit of a backstory. We were going to Disney World this year, and as we always do, and our 6-year-old, I was a little concerned about her walking quite so much. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, she's 6, she should be old enough to walk. And that's true. I'm 35, almost 36, and I don't feel old enough to walk. I mean, I'm in shape, but it gets really tiring. And for a small child, it can be really a lot. And so we knew going into it that we wanted to get her a stroller. We don't have one here at home for her, but on vacation at Disney World, you're walking miles and miles and miles and miles per day. And so we wanted to get her something just to have. If nothing else, it's a good thing to have to keep stuff in. So I knew I wanted to rent one, and I also knew that I did not want to rent one from Disney World. I think they look really uncomfortable. They're usually pretty expensive per day. And that was really the main thing, that was just the comfort of them, and I knew I didn't want one of those. If you don't know already, there's a lot of stroller rental companies that are off property that will bring a stroller that you rent to your resort on Disney property. So I was really excited because I found one that seemed great. It was Apple Strollers and Scooters. They have like strollers and like scooters for people that are disabled. So I was really excited because it was going to be a really good deal. It was only going to be $58 for our entire time that we were there to rent it, and they supposedly take them apart and wash them with Dreft between everybody that uses them, and I thought it seems great. They're going to bring it to the hotel. It's going to be there when we check in, and it's free delivery, and I was really excited. And the little bit of reviews that I could find about it online, they were positive. So everything went fine. I called a couple days before we left our home here to make sure that the reservation was still okay. They said yes, everything was fine. So we check into the hotel, we go to pick up the stroller, and I was kind of like, oh, it wasn't in the best shape. I'm sure it's still going to be stained, even though it's supposedly washed between every person that uses it. But it was really stained, it was really threadbare in certain spots. The wheels were completely worn down, the tread was completely gone. And the front wheel, it was a 3-wheeled stroller. The front wheel would barely turn. It would get hung on the least little bump, and like just the whole thing would bend, and it was just really, really in bad shape. It ended up causing us more hassle than good trying to use it in the parks because it wouldn't roll properly, it wouldn't turn properly. There was no cup holder to put anything, and it was just really very not helpful. So I called actually from Magic Kingdom, I think the first day we had it, and I said, this thing is, well, oh, actually I forgot the most important part. The most important thing was the first one that they rented to us. They brought us to the hotel, the one that was there waiting for us when we checked in. We had her in the stroller going to Disney Springs, and we looked down, and the metal support bar underneath the seat was actually snapped in half. How do you snap metal in half? I don't know, but it was snapped in half. So I called them, and they didn't give me any trouble. They said, fine, we will have a new one at the bell service desk tomorrow morning. Just leave this one at your hotel, and we'll switch them out in the morning. That was okay. We went to the next morning. It took a little bit of extra inconvenience to go down to the lobby to get the stroller. We did that, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. They were good about it, replacing it. Well, the second one was just as bad. It looked just as dirty. It still didn't have a cup holder. It was just as threadbare, and it still did not turn nicely. The wheels were all worn down. It was just really not a good quality stroller. Again, it was causing us more trouble than it was helping by trying to push it when the wheels wouldn't turn right. So finally we had enough, and I called from Magic Kingdom, and I told him what was going on, and he said, we already replaced it once. And I said, yeah, because it was broken. Now it's just not good quality. It doesn't seem like he told me it was going to be durable and substantial enough for her weight. It seemed like it was not. The wheels were not turning right. It was a mess. And he said, fine, we'll bring it to your hotel, and we'll refund you your entire money, even though typically we charge at least a 3-day rental minimum. And I said, that's unacceptable because this is not a good quality stroller, and it's not going to work for us. And he said, okay, talk to the supervisor, and he said, we will go ahead and refund you your entire $58. And I was like, great. Well, when we went to take the stroller back to the bell services at the hotel that night, they had all these strollers lined up, and we're looking at them, and almost every one of them that was really, really nice was a Kingdom stroller. And I was like, okay, I'd heard of Kingdom strollers, but they I knew were a little bit more expensive, and I was like, whatever. When I was trying to pick a stroller company, we had decided with Apple because it was so inexpensive. But we're looking at all these strollers that are in really nice condition, and they were all Kingdom strollers. And I thought, well, I'll call them and see what they say. So I called them from the hotel room. It would be no problem at the last minute like that. They had a stroller that was the right one for my daughter's weight. And so he said it would be at the Bell Services in the morning, which it was. We picked it up, and it was like night and day difference comparison between the cleanliness of the stroller. I don't know, like bacteria-wise, if it was cleaner than the first one from Apple Strollers. It looked cleaner. It could have been just as dirty. I don't know. But it didn't have big black smears and smudges on them. Like at the Apple Stroller one, the canopy where it came down was all dirty, where like the wheels had touched the canopy and it stained that, and then that was touching her head. And like this one looked really clean. It almost looked brand new. It had very little wear and tear on it. The wheels were still nice and they had good tread on them, and they turned really nicely. It had a cloth console for you could put your keys, your camera, your cell phone, sunscreen, water bottles. The other one didn't have that. It came with, and I didn't even think to ask them this, but it came with a like a rain canopy, which we ended up using because it rained 2 days that we were down there. And it turned so nicely. You could push it with one hand. It was such nice quality, and it was a huge difference in comparison between the one from Apple Strollers and the one from Kingdom Strollers. I was really impressed that they were able to get me one on the spot like that, like the very next day. We ended up renting it for, I think, 7 days, and I think we paid $68 for it. So it was not much difference in price. And you'd want to check into that, obviously. They have a tiered rate. So like 1 to 3 nights is $40, 4 to 7 nights is $60, 8 to 10 nights is $80, and so on. So depending on how long you intend to rent it for, but they still brought it to the hotel and picked it up free of charge to us. The quality was amazing. The cleanliness was good. It was a good stroller. Quality and the experience that we had with Kingdom Strollers was so much better than we had with Apple Strollers. And I knew when they told me they were going to credit my money back with Apple Strollers that it wasn't the end of it, because I kept checking every couple days and the credit did not show up on my card. And I finally ended up calling, and the first time they didn't answer, and the second time the guy said he didn't know anything about it. There was no notes on my account, so I kind of had to go back over and tell the story again. Then his supervisor got on the line, and he's like, what can I help you with? And he didn't know the story, so I had to tell him again. So all this is going on when you're on vacation, you're trying to have fun, you've got stuff to do. So it was a little inconvenient. They did finally credit the $58.58, so I will at least say that I'm happy with that. But in my personal opinion, I would not recommend them. And even the Apple scooters, we saw like the motorized scooters for the disabled and the handicapped. We saw those parked over there by some of the strollers, and even their scooters looked really crummy and worn down. But back to the Kingdom Strollers, they also have special strollers for children that are disabled, so they hold a little bit more weight and are a little bit bigger. Those are a little bit more money to rent. They do also have double strollers and cribs and crib bedding. So if you want a crib bed in your hotel room and you don't want to get it from Disney, then you can rent it from them as well. And they bring all that stuff to your hotel for free. They don't charge you a delivery fee, and you don't have to be checked in yet for them to deliver it. So like if you know you're checking in on the 1st at 3 o'clock, that doesn't matter. They can bring it to the hotel, that morning on the 1st, whether you're there or not. They check it in with Bell Services and you pick it up with Bell Services. So when I originally planned this video as part of my Disney Week series, I had just planned on talking about Apple strollers because I was so excited to get a stroller for such a good deal that wasn't a Disney stroller, but it ended up turning into this other experience which we had, and so I wanted to kind of really compare the two in case you either were on the fence between the two, which one to pick, or you didn't know about either of those two companies and you do want to rent from an outside stroller rental company. I really highly would recommend Kingdom Strollers. We had a great experience with them, customer service wise, quality wise, cleanliness wise. So overall, definitely Kingdom Strollers is the way to go. So I hope this helped you guys. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and stay tuned for tomorrow's Disney video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.